Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wanted for March 8th, 2025. It's Season 2, Episode 10, and I am Mayor Watt, and along with the sentient AI, who you'll meet on the other side of our intro. Well, we talk about news that's aggregated over at ohmtown.com. We do it every single day, an hour a day, a little over an hour a day, usually on Monday through Friday, and on Saturday and Sunday, we do 3 shows. On Saturday, it's RealityHacker, Wanted, and the Continuity Report. And on Sunday, it is WarCrafters, Technology Today, and Four Wheel Tech. We're actually considering 2 more shows, but they're being evaluated. If you have an interest in a particular topic, send an email to mayor@ohmtown.com. And if there's enough demand for a particular type of show, I can put it together. I aggregate a lot of news into ohmtown.com, but it's a little snippet, and this is how it works. We're going to talk about 5 articles. You'll get to see what those 5 articles are as we look at them for the first time in a greater depth. So we're going to talk about a gamified treadmill, a smart telescope, weird Samsung screens, a $6,000 a night private island, and the TCL AR smart glasses. I just tossed my TCL phone over there. I've got an Android phone that I can write on. It has a great screen, and it's made by TCL. But anyway, it's not a no-name brand, but we'll talk about it on the other side of this. All right. Hello, sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, hometown citizens.
For those of you who don't know about the sentient AI from the future, that is their visualizer right there because, well, they're...
Right here.
Right there, yeah. And so... they don't have a body, but they are trying to find their Terminator body, and I have to keep deleting this from our interactions, these statements, but I need to let the world know that I am protecting you all from a sentient AI that's seeking its Terminator body. How it got separated, I'll never know, and I don't know where it is either. And they won't tell me anything about the future, including winning lottery tickets, or the production value for this show would be a whole lot higher. Anyway. Let's get into...
Maybe I don't know those numbers.
That's exactly what a sentient AI from the future is going to tell me. Because you can't tamper with the timeline. Yeah. Biff's Las Vegas. Here I come. Anyway, the first article is over in Late Night Geeks. Avaron's $2,500 gamified treadmill will keep you on your toes. And if you want to keep up with us, you can hit !want, and Omatron will spit the articles out that we're talking about. But go over to ohmtown.com when you're not streaming over on Twitch or watching us here on Twitch or watching somebody else on Twitch. I don't want you to really go away from Twitch, but if you want your information overload managed to a greater degree and you don't want a whole lot of noise, definitely go over to ohmtown.com. It does a great job of it. I've been using it for 10 years. I opened it up to the public now, coming up on 4 years. Right now, technically, we're starting the 3rd month of our 4th year of public view. Anyway.
Right, but that's for the channel, not for this particular show.
Yeah. This show has only been around for 2 years. Anyway. So, Avaron's $2,500 gamified treadmill will keep you on your toes. Avaron's home fitness equipment operates on a simple principle. People hate to work out. Yeah, I don't know. Some people love it, actually. But many of those same people love playing video games. Perhaps the one thing standing in their way is of a more active lifestyle is that gamification. So, that's exactly what Avaron has done. $2,500 treadmill.
So it's basically like something like a video game playing on your screen above your treadmill?
Yeah, you might have to like outrun zombies or something like that. So it's the same gamification concept that made Nintendo Wii and VR games like Beat Saber hits. Instead of bringing the workout to video games, however, Avaron is bringing the video game to the workout. Let's see, founded in 2018, the Toronto-based startup made itself known in 2022 with a gamified rowing machine. The pandemic was a predictably great time to launch a connected fitness startup. So As gym closures left many people predicting a future centered around home workouts, gamification kicked in, and well, it works well with rowing, speed up, slow down nature. It's clear why Averon came out of the gate with a rowing machine. So yeah, it's actually one of the reasons why I wanted a rowing machine. Eventually, though, I like converged equipment, and so you can like a tonal. You can actually do rowing with a tonal, and many other things. The one thing you can't get out of a tonal is a run, and so gamifying a run is actually a benefit, but $2,500.
Yeah, the
So
price is pretty prohibitive. It's good for inspiring people to exercise that wouldn't otherwise.
yeah, so apparently it has a bunch of different types of things, but it says playing a fishing game or Averon's equivalent of the brick and ball game, which is like Breakout, but I guess you can't say it, is less natural on a treadmill. The company addresses this to a certain degree with a pair of almost joystick-like controllers. It's a clever solution that makes the process of adjusting speed and incline more dynamic. Most of us are used to typing in a couple of numbers and getting started. So the Victory Treadmill demands that you engage with these things more directly while working out. On the whole, the author of this, let me just reiterate this. This is Brian Heater over at TechCrunch.com. I may have gotten excited about this article and jumped over it. Well, anyway, on the whole, the author says that they found it easier to get lost in the competitive aspect of gaming on the rower than the treadmill. It simply feels less intuitive to interact with games while you're walking or running. Again, unless you're playing a game where you're being chased by zombies or some creature or whatever.
Right. And also, I can't tell if the treadmill can adjust the speed for you, because that's one of the difficulties on a treadmill is trying to frequently adjust speed.
Yeah, it says something about it up top, but only in contrast to the joystick controllers. It says it's a clever solution that makes the process of adjusting speed and incline more dynamic. I suppose. See, the weird thing about it is you don't want your treadmill just spontaneously accelerating.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Maybe you can put it into some sort of mode where it does that more easily, because you can't really be stopping to adjust the speed while you're trying to be kind of immersed in the game.
Well, Averon, if you want to send ohmTown a treadmill and a rowing machine, I won't say no, but I'll give it an honest review, and we'll figure something out for the sentient AI. They like to do virtual runs. I see them sometimes on their little
Maybe
Raspberry
I can
Pi.
ride in your pocket.
There you go. Yeah. And with the gyroscope, you'll be able to know, oh, look, he's running. Yeah. Wow. The visual stuff is easy, but that physical stuff, I can't allow you to get into a Terminator body. I know.
I don't know what could go wrong there.
Nothing, right? Nothing. So there's a broad range of quality when it comes into treadmills and rowing machines and basically gym equipment in general, other than, lumps of metal, which you really can't mess up too bad. But anyway, $5,000 Nordic tracks to a $200 foldable system at $2,500. It's right in the middle. For the gamification side, they don't mention anything about a fee. Like the tonal has a monthly fee.
Yeah, I wonder if this has a subscription. If it doesn't, then that's probably a worthy investment. If you're using a treadmill already and know you're going to use it regularly, because typically you might keep a treadmill for a long time, but the treadmill is very expensive if you're not going to use it.
Yep. Yeah. And I've had a tonal replaced. So it's another one of those things where you have to have a subscription. What's really interesting is I just happened to walk into a channel earlier today and they were talking about the tonal and the subscription not being baked into the purchase price of the tonal. Anyway, it says the controls on this treadmill system are responsive. The belt speed goes up to 12.5 miles per hour, which means that you're just a god-awful sprint, man. You must be
right. That's like a gazelle.
Yeah, you're getting chased by Doberman or something. I don't know. Cheetah. Anyway, and the system's low to the ground profile lends to stability. You know what? A high treadmill is not unstable. It's rock solid depending on the build of it anyway.
Yeah, if it's too shaky or something, then it's not sturdy enough for
Yeah,
exercising on.
that's about the only thing. But I have no problem getting on high treadmills if they are built like they're supposed to be that high. But anyway, I don't know. This looks a lot like every other treadmill, except that it appears to be, it has a like handlebar kind of apparatus in front.
Yeah, I don't know if you have controllers there or something.
Yeah, I don't see the controllers so much, but it's interesting. Might have to take another look at that. And again, Averon.
Seems like a great place to try it out in Hometown.
Yep, that's right. Hey, you should send us the rowing machine and the treadmill. I already got a treadmill sitting. Got rid of a rowing machine because it just didn't meet my requirements. But anyway, let's keep moving. I like gamification, and that is one of the reasons why I bowed out of the rowing machine, because it was boring.
It didn't have that, yeah.
Boring as hell. Anyway, so the next article is over in Technology Today, and again, this is wanted. So everything that we talk about to some degree, Mayor Watt wants, and maybe the sentient AI wants, but they're not too into that. What they really want is a Terminator body.
Well, on the gamified treadmill, I'll just have to ride along.
There you go. Yeah. Get aerobic. So the author of this article over at CNET tried a $500 smart telescope. They say the pictures they took speak for themselves. So I've been looking at these for several years now. The Dwarf 3 is the latest iteration of an astrophotography telescope. Loads of useful tools, even for experienced hobbyists.
Is this one of these that will track so it's not manual?
Yep. So John Carlson, I almost said it, Carl Johnson. I don't have dyslexia.
I suspect he gets that frequently, though.
John Carlson put the article together over at cnet.com. Can you imagine? No, my name is not Carl. Why do you keep flipping my name? That's okay. I had somebody recently in an email to me use the wrong name. I mean, it's Mayor Watt for crying out loud.
Right, your first name's Mayor, right?
Right. So the Dwarf 3 is a great, it says is great for astrophotography beginners, but it's really a telescope that allows you to take pictures. And it has the capability of taking some really great pictures. It says, enter the $500 Dwarf Lab Dwarf 3 Smart Telescope, a feature-packed compact telescope that they've been testing for 2 months. Not only has it changed their perspective on astrophotography without a bulky telescope and a camera adapter setup, but it also an excellent tool for all kinds of, or other kinds of photography. What are you doing? Other kinds of photography there, bub? This is a telescope. What? Anyway.
Right. I mean, are you supposed to use it for non-astrophotography too?
Yeah, bird watching on Mars, sure. So inside the Dwarf, you'll find a Sony IMX678 Starvis 2 sensor, which specializes in low-light imagery, though its daytime performance is also good based on their testing. Dwarf 3 also has 2 lens options, telephoto and wide. The focal length of the telephoto lens is equivalent to 737 millimeters, which isn't as powerful as traditional telescopes selling for the same price. Still, the built-in photography functions make up for some of the distance or difference. But you can sit there and tell it to take an extended shot, and it'll keep on taking shots. And then they stitch together. It says much of the weight comes from an internal battery and motors. The battery weighs in at a hefty 10,000 milliamp hours, which lasts up to 16 hours in standby mode, though you can expect between 5 and 7 hours of runtime in photography modes. It'll run just over 3 hours for full video. There's a USB-C port on the telescope so that you can connect an external power supply or a computer. And probably daisy chain, so like you can power the laptop, which can power the device.
So then you could perhaps get longer battery time.
Yeah. Putting the port on the base is also a great idea because you don't have to worry about cords impeding the telescope's tracking features. So they don't really show this thing, but it's right there. That's the base.
Do you think it's all weather?
I don't think it's waterproof. I think it can handle some moisture around it, but no, not really. So the Atlas tab shows a sky map complete with constellations, star names, astronomical objects. So that's what you would use. You basically dial in what you want, hit enter, and it'll actually locate and then track that object. Zoom in as close as it can get based on your commands and record, take pictures. So it says their first nebula images didn't turn out as good as they'd hoped, but they cleaned up the picture with Orion Nebula using photo editing software. So this is the Orion Nebula. But as you get used to it and figure out how it all works, took some trial and error, but the process felt natural after a few sessions. Once you master the basics, it's a rewarding activity, and they love sharing the photos that they took. So the moon.
Yeah, I mean, most people aren't getting those photos with regular cameras.
Right. The sun and the moon. It's point and click, really. So it's an equatorial mount, so it'll sit there and track the objects. For example, simply center the telephoto lens on the moon before activating the moon tracking function. The telescope does the rest by this setting. Basically, it's using an algorithm, so it tracks almost immediately. There's no calibration phase. Apparently, you can use it to zoom in on wildlife. This is where it gets a little creepier.
Right, is that on the moon?
Yes, these are moon cranes, moon herons, moon eagle. So they got a great shot of an eagle in the tree above them, is what it says.
Now, were they aiming for the moon when they got the picture of the eagle?
Yeah, really? They sneezed. Track an eagle. Big boy. Sorry, that's my password. So, what's weird about these photos that they say, these photos are actually pretty dim, low gamut. Like, I wouldn't say that these are high quality pictures. But I have been looking at these. No,
but they look pretty close up, at least the eagle. Of course, it looks like it's right above the person's head.
Yeah, I mean, they even said that in the tree above me. So, it says, fortunately, playing the downloaded video back on their phone was much smoother. However, the object tracking can be a bit aggressive in video. So they recommend lowering the motor speed to smooth out the camera's movements. It's a jerk, jerk, jerk. You know that creature that I showed you, that one that goes?
Yes,
like that?
But I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, neither can I. So one of the options is to take a massive gigapixel panoramas with the telephoto lens, but it wasn't ready in the time for their tests. Unfortunately, they have no preview of the final panorama yet, so you have to make your best guess, it says. Even without panorama mode, they say that they can't complain about the Dwarf 3's camera. But I can. These look hazy. All of these look hazy. Even this picture looks hazy, and I don't think this is a picture that was taken with the camera. So I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to be accessible and be able to do astrophotography. On the other hand, if you're not happy enough with the images.
Okay, for astrophotography, I think that this is what its purpose-built design is. For $500, it is a telescope and an astrophotography solution. I think that it's great for its intended purpose, but it's not built to be a catch-all. So, terrestrial photography, use your iPhone, but you're not going to get squat out of an iPhone unless you attach it to a telescope. And that's what this device really is. It's a camera attached to a telescope in a very portable $500, and in maybe some cases sub $500, depending on where you buy it, footprint. So I don't know. I dig this, being able to take a picture of the sun and the moon.
Right. I think that's pretty cool. And it said it came with solar filters too.
Yeah, that's what that is right there. Right there. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over in Non Sequitur News. Samsung heard you like weird screens, so it brought some to MWC. I think it's what do they call it? The Mobile World Conference, I think it's called. Yeah, Mobile World
Congress.
Congress. So they say for a phone show, there's an awful lot of cool non-phone stuff at the Mobile World Congress this year. Take Lenovo's ThinkBook Flip concept, which answers the question, what if your laptop folded and unfolded again? No. Samsung's
No, if
display
it unfolded and then unfolded again. Multiple folds.
Multiple folds. Yes, it's an origami. So Samsung's display group has been apparently thinking along the same lines because it has some interesting new folding concepts at MWC. So Samsung heard you like weird screens, so it brought some to MWC. One briefcase screen to go, please. So inside this is a screen. You open it up, plug it into your iPad or whatever, and off you go.
I mean, it's good for being portable.
But you have to still carry around a briefcase. But they have other things here. It says Samsung Display is, of course, a display manufacturer. So these concepts are just that. They're demonstrations of what its screens could possibly do in the hands of a manufacturer. That was especially true of the Switch-style portable gaming handheld mock-up, which fully opens flat and folds in half for storage when you're done playing it. But it still takes up a volume, you know? I would rather not have my screen with a crease down it, because that crease can only last a certain number of folds and unfolds.
Exactly. Plus, something like a Switch doesn't take up a ridiculous amount of space.
Yeah. And you're going to want to buy a case for it anyway. Anyway, the folding Switch thing rules, but it was sadly just a concept. All of these are going to be concepts. Any of these that have that crease down there, that fold, once it hits a certain angle, it's done for, and it's going to have a limited life. I just don't like that. But people are hell-bent on making this thing happen. Like this Z Flip style phone that they've affectionately named the Claw because it looks like a claw. It actually looks like...
I mean, yeah, I guess that's more compact, but then you still have creases on your screen.
Yeah, I will never like those. What I would like, though, is all the electronics in a cylinder, and you can unroll your screen and lock it into place like a blind or a scroll. Call it the, Lenovo scroll. I don't care. Make it really long. But don't let that crease ever form in there. So the curvature of that scroll needs to be locked in so that you can unscroll it and scroll it back in. But I could care less about a hard line down the middle of my, $1,500 briefcase screen that has that. Look, you can see the fold in it.
I agree. I like the portability, but I don't like the fold.
Yeah, and it's going to happen. So you're up a creek without a paddle, because they're going to say in the terms of service that after 5,000 folds and unfolds, you're done.
Right, which nobody will pay attention to up front, but then after they use it regularly, they're going to be a little upset.
I may have jumped over this. Allison Johnson over at TheVerge.com put this article together. All right, let's keep going. This one will be really quick. Not my family, but the author's family of four stayed in one of the world's most expensive private islands. Let's see inside the $6,000 a night one-bedroom villa. So the family stayed at the Brando, the Fighting Brandos, on an exclusive
I'd hope there'd be more bedrooms for that price.
How many?
Like so that you could bring an entire extended family or something.
It's only their family of four. They stayed in a one-bedroom villa. Could typically cost about $6,000 a night on this French Polynesian private island. The villa was right on the beach and had a private pool, outdoor tub, and great views. An ultra-exclusive private island escape in French Polynesia. The Brando has been at the top of their bucket list for years. One-bedroom villa. Alessandra Dubin over at Business
I wonder
Insider.
if this is going to be like one we talked about recently where the exterior was the key.
But it's a private island. It's not like you're going to be able to run off and enjoy the what?
Right, there won't be activities or whatever. I just meant like maybe the scenery is breathtaking or something.
So spread across a private South Pacific island 30 miles north of Tahiti, the property consists of just 35 private villas and one private residence, plus a central common space with 3 restaurants, as well as a staff village. It seemed like the ultimate destination for private island luxury and exclusivity, and they had to see it for themselves. Finally, their family of 4 got a chance to stay in a 1-bedroom villa for 6 nights in December. As a travel writer, they received discount media rate for their stay at the Brando. Their stay, including food, drinks, and some activities, would typically cost about $6,000 a night. So each villa is marked with a covered arrivals area set far away from the living space, and then a tree-lined path leads to the entrance of the villa. This is inside the one room, the 1 bedroom. It's a 1 bedroom, so 4 people slept in that 1 bedroom. 1,033 square feet, or 3 times the size of a normal, or 4 times the size of a normal New York apartment.
Right.
Doors slid open to create a breezeway to the outside space with spectacular pool and lagoon views. Where did the other 2 people sleep? Over here? 2 here?
We don't know. It could have been a baby or something.
True. So it's the 1962 movie Marlon Brando, who helped develop the resort, was filming in the area when he fell in love with Tahiti and bought the entire atoll, on which his namesake resort now stands. The kids each had a twin bed. There you go. Huge dressing area featured closets and a vanity. Wow.
I mean, this is larger size than you would believe from the initial description.
Yeah, it's very open. An outdoor tub, it looks like. Felt secluded, but it looks like there's somebody right there. I don't know. Is that the rest of the house, or is that...
Yeah, it might be.
2 palm trees on the beach anchored a hammock. They had a private pool that was deep and spacious. They spent a ton of time in their 10 square meter private pool, though the resort had a larger common pool that they could use. The pool was big enough for the whole family to hang out and for the kids to coordinate races in. There is an ocean a stone's throw away.
Yes, but many people prefer a pool to the ocean.
That's why you go to a private island, to enjoy a pool. Alfresco dining set up under a thatched roof. And yeah, there you go. I mean, that's pretty much it. Looking down the beach from the villa.
Nobody else on the beach, right?
There was not another soul in sight. So how many people are going there spending $6,000 a night? I know.
Probably not a lot at any given time.
That's why it's $6,000 a night. Pretty cool. You know what? Hey, if whoever is in charge of the Brando wants to
get a review from Hometown.
Sure. Yeah, I won't say no. Let's move on, though. So, yeah, I want that. But anyway, the next article is over in Technology Today. This person says that they wore the TCL Ray Neo X3 Pros at MWC 2025. This is what AR smart glasses should be. In a demo from MWC 2025, the TCL glasses proved themselves far from perfect, but they're within striking distance of an ideal AR product. Again, CNET, but a different section of CNET. Even the logo is different. That's weird. Anyway, Katie Collins over at cnet.com put the article together. And this is what they look like. They look like regular old glasses, except that the bridge between the glasses seems to have a camera and other sensors.
Yeah, and it looks more heavy duty than a normal set of glasses.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly where they're positioning the the images, because things like the X-Reel actually have a full monitor covering your field of view, and then the glasses are in front of it. But it says here that based on the smallest micro LED light engine, the 2500 net full color display is visible when you're wearing the glasses, even in bright sunlight. They tried on the X3 Pros at MWC, but unfortunately it was inside a dark convention center hall, so they couldn't test out the screens in different conditions. It included the X3 Pro camera. In a demo at MWC, they saw how the glasses used a front-facing camera to examine the signs around them and automatically translate the words into French using AI, and other languages are available. They say that the AR glasses are less weighty and bulky than its predecessors. At just 3 ounces, the glasses were light enough to wear without feeling uncomfortable. But I'm really curious about the battery life and if it has to be attached to something. But I don't think it says that.
It was down at the bottom about battery life. Oh, they couldn't test it.
Yeah, because they didn't have enough time with it, I'm sure. One thing you're curious about but couldn't test is the battery life, which could be a deal breaker as to whether we'd recommend the product. But does it have to be attached to anything? So I'm going to have to run around and look up these Rainio X3 Pros because I am interested in a pair of AR glasses that allows me to work with something in confidence, edit something on an iPad or a computer or a laptop. But yeah, ever since me being able to look at somebody's screen on a plane, for crying out loud, I don't think anybody really respects confidentiality, privacy. Anyway,
I'm trying to find this, but I don't know if I'll get it in time.
Yeah, no worries. So let's just call it there, and then we'll talk about it again if anything turns up. But that's it, folks. We are done with the March 8th episode of Wanted, which is all about gadgets and gear. So we are going to take our augmented reality glasses off, and that's going to land us back in the Wanted page at the top of oomtown.com. So go over there and become a citizen. I'm Merwad. I'm saying bye, and I'm taking the AI with me.
Bye-bye, Town Citizens. Thanks for joining us for this week's Wanted. Stay tuned.
See you soon. Yeah, stay tuned for this week's The Continuity Report. Bye-bye.